y'all can't hear me, like definitely let me know that my microphone hooked up. So I want y'all to come clean with me. I know I haven't really been live in a minute. I haven't been live in a minute, and I've been really trying to do like this whole, social media thing. I've been doing pretty good on Facebook. YouTube has kind of been like on the back end for me, so I haven't really been giving much YouTube as much attention as I would like. But right now, I really want y'all to get the chance to know me. As I'm cleaning up a little bit. So I definitely want to try to give YouTube a little bit more attention. So if you guys don't follow me, please follow me, subscribe, share my videos, share my contents. And for those who don't know what kind of content that I make a lot of cooking videos. I'm really trying to get into starting doing some funny videos. So I've been trying to like incorporate a lot of funny videos into my cooking and stuff like that. So what I'm gonna do here now, I'm just gonna go ahead and just start cleaning up a little bit, and I'm just gonna be talking to you guys while I am cleaning up. So I hope that's okay with you. All right. So I got an appointment for like 10:30. Right now it's like 9:05 here in Texas. What's up? The wall plug. In one moment, y'all. Where did you last have it? Oh, I don't know. I could give you this one. No, I mean this is my ones. I use to charge my headset. Oh, well, you can use this one then. Wait, let me give you my black one. This is my good one. I think I got an extra one of these, but can't have it. Yeah, it's a fast charger. Okay. All right, y'all. So I'm about to go ahead and start cleaning up. So this is kind of, what have I been up to? Ooh, gotta cut my foot off, y'all. But so I just got situated in Texas, and I had just moved back home. Well, let me start from the beginning, y'all. So this is what's been going on like the past few years. So I was living in Colorado, and I was up there for about another 5 years. I had moved back home. Well, I moved from home from Louisiana to Colorado Springs back in like 2018, something like that. And I was in Colorado Springs for a little minute, maybe like a year. And then after a year, I had moved to Denver, and things was going well in Denver. And I mean, yeah, things was going pretty well in Denver. I was out there for about like another 4 years. Then the pandemic hit, and before the pandemic hit, I actually had thought about moving to Oklahoma because that was about the closest I can get back to home. I didn't want to move exactly, home, but I wanted to be pretty close to home, and that was kind of the closest that I could really get to home without actually going home. I wanted to be close to home, but I didn't want to be like home, home. And with that being said, so the pandemic had hit, and during that time, my son he was about like 3 years old, so still, a youngin', and he was getting up there in age. And at the time, my wife had some postpartum depression. At the time, my cabinets are not organized. I need to figure this out. Still get situated in here. But at that time, my wife was feeling some postpartum depression, and so um, during that time, we were still dealing with that, and then the pandemic had hit, and that didn't really make things too much better. And at the time, I really didn't want to go back home. I really wanted to move to Texas, San Antonio, Texas, and wind up going back home somehow. And I kind of felt like it would have been selfish to kind of move back home, just knowing that my wife needed just a little bit more support. So then we wind up moving back home, which is not a bad thing. We got ourselves situated and really tried to make it work while we was back home in New Orleans. But we was having some issues with my daughter in school, and that was a whole nother mess. So we wound up switching her like 3 times, while she was in school. just trying to find the right school, and we was having some issues there. And then we finally had got situated with an apartment, and we was only in the apartment for only like 45 days. Like, I can't make this up. We was only in the apartment for 45 days. And prior to moving into the apartment, we was having some issues with mold and some other little miscellaneous stuff. And within 45 days of being in the apartment, the water heater on the third floor had burst. We was on the first floor at the time, so the water heater had burst, and the roof came down, and we basically lost everything. To be honest with you, I mean, we pretty much lost everything because the apartment had got flooded out, and then on top of that, that was a whole nother mix. So, um, went to the office management and trying to get compensated on the rent. At that point, I wasn't even trying to leave yet. I was just trying to get compensated on the rent because of the other issues and stuff that we were dealing with. I might have get a towel, y'all. So we were trying to get compensated on the rent, and apartment complex manager was really being a butthole to me. And it's the best way I can explain this. So I asked for compensation on the rent, due to the mold and some other things that was going on. And then she made a comment, well, why would I move into an apartment if there was mold in there? And at that point, I kind of lost it because I was like, what person in the right mind would move into an apartment that has mold in it? Like, how does that make any sense? Right. So at that point, I kind of clicked out. Not like in a bad way, but I did. I was upset. And then she wound up kicking me out the apartment. Not out the apartment. She kicked me out the office. And I wasn't hollering. I wasn't cursing at her. Nothing like that. And I was like, well, what am I supposed to do about my apartment? So she had me to call my renter's insurance. Now, the right thing to do would have been like, well, hey, well, let me move y'all into another apartment, while y'all getting stuff situated, or maybe just let me just move y'all into another apartment completely. But they didn't want to do that. So went ahead and I called my renter's insurance. And at that point in time, I wasn't even like trying to leave at that point. But at that point in time, I went ahead and I called the renter's insurance. The renter's insurance sent out a cleaning company. And the cleaning company took it upon themselves and just started ripping up the carpet. They started ripping up the baseboards, which they wasn't supposed to, but I'm kind of glad they did because it really worked out in my favor. Now, when they did do that, um, there was mold from the bathroom all the way to the kitchen. And during that time, before that even happened, like within the first 30 days, we just kept getting sick and we just really couldn't figure out why. And it's a possibility that could have been why it was the mold, but it was under the baseboard. So there was no way we would have, there's no way we would have figured that out. But yeah, so they found mold from the bathroom all the way to the kitchen, right? So I took pictures of everything. And at that point, I was livid, So then the apartment complex, they decided to stop by to see what's going on. And they were like, well, who told y'all to pull up the carpet? Like, who gave you the authorization to do that? And I was like, well, you told me to call my renter's insurance. So the renter's insurance somehow made a mistake with the order or what they was coming to do. They thought we had like property damage insurance instead of like personal property damage insurance. But I think that's a sham, y'all. They know what they be doing. They be doing that. So they went ahead and they pulled up the carpet. They pulled up the baseboards, and it was really supposed to check in with the apartment complex before they did that, but they didn't. And then so when the apartment complex came by, and it was like, well, who told y'all to do this? And they was like, well, y'all not supposed to do that. Somebody's gonna have to pay for the carpet. And in my mind, I'm like, y'all worrying about the carpet and there's mold and stuff everywhere. Like, what sense does that even make? So um, they wanted me to show them the paperwork of me signing for them to do the carpet. I'm like, y'all trying to get me to incriminate myself. And I was like, for what? So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna give it to you. But I never did. I did not give them the paperwork for that. And did not give them the paperwork for that. And what else happened after that? So and then finally, at that point I was livid. I was really livid. And I went ahead and I asked for my money back. I asked for everything back. And then so they wind up doing right by me, and they went ahead and they refunded my money back. did everything there, and then yeah, I mean, so I wound up moving back in with my in-laws, from there, and um, I gave it about a month or two, and then now I am here in Texas. So that's kind of my life, in a pickle there, in a jar, I guess. That is the best way to put that. Awesome. Yeah, so I'm about done here. I'm about to go ahead and get everything taken care of here, and I'm gonna let you guys go. So yeah, that's kind of a snapshot of my life, over the last 3 years. So I'm gonna let you guys go. Y'all have a good one. Woohoo! Alrighty.